Avid Knits podcast. My name is Sarah, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry, both as Avid Knits. Today is Wednesday, April 15th, and I only know that because I had a doctor's appointment this afternoon. I forgot all about it. I had at 2:45 and I got a reminder around 11 this morning, and that's when I remembered. I thought for sure it was in 2 days. I thought for sure today was Monday. To be honest, every day feels like Monday lately, doesn't it? Am I the only one? It is a lovely 72-degree day here in Houston, and it is absolutely gorgeous out. So my son got a new bike over the holidays, which is an upgrade, so it's bigger than his last one. And he's been a little nervous about it, but he's also undergone a growth spurt. I think he's grown a foot. It's probably half an inch, but it feels like a foot. And so now he feels a little more confident on the bike, and that's all he wants to be doing is outside on the bike. So my husband is jogging along beside him, and they are running around the neighborhood because they care more about their physical activity than this guy. Because I knit. It's always physical activity. What are you talking about? So that's what they're doing. I thought I would take the opportunity to podcast since I got dressed today. Yay, me! Spoiler alert. I have homeschooled my child his entire life. I am terrible at get up, take a shower, get ready for your day, and then start. I don't do that. Hardly ever. I cannot tell you how many times my husband comes home and we're both still in pajamas, and he has to ask if we did something that day. I need to change that now that he's getting a little bit older. But I don't know, whenever my son was younger, all of his cousins and stuff go to public school, so we don't go anywhere during the day anyway. I guess it just never occurred to me. He doesn't need to get dressed to feel like he is going to be motivated to focus on something. He just kind of does it. And so it's just never been a huge thing in our house. Now that we're all in quarantine, I don't think anybody likes getting dressed anymore. But I had to be in public today, so I did it. And not only did I do it, but I really went all out and I wore a dress. So here's my little dress. Yay me. And I put on a cardigan to be able to say that I did it. Yeah. I had a doctor's appointment today. I had a follow-up for the LEAP procedure that I talked about on my last episode. You can click back if you'd like to hear more about that. Everything is fine. Everything's clear. I am healing perfectly fine. Nothing to report. Picked up some groceries. My little letters on my necklace here have all the finish has worn off of my little charms. I ordered some new charms from the lady who made it, and they got here today. But then I found out that the way that the necklace is made, you can't thread the charms on to the necklace. You have to take like your little mini hoop and then your clasp, and they hook together. Well, the little mini hoop, you have to take it off. I don't have jewelry working stuff, but my friend Melody does. Hi, Melody. So I asked her if I could commission her to do that. I told her I would mail it to her, and then I told her that instead I would buy her coffee and we could just sit in our trunk 6 feet apart because I haven't seen anybody in 3 months and I kind of miss people. I'm sure that the first week after quarantine I'll be like, no, I'm good, let's go back, but for right now I'm kind of missing people. And I know people are super stressed out, and the news isn't getting any better. But we're not here to talk about that today. I have very strong feelings on what's going on in the news right now, particularly in the American government sector, and we're not going to ruin our friendships by having that conversation today. And we're not going to stress each other out over this conversation. We're just going to carry on, okay? That's what we're doing. We're carrying on. I certainly hope that everybody in your life and in your family is safe and that they're healthy and doing as well as they possibly can be in these times. I know that this is a crazy, terrifying, horrible time for a lot of people right now. So I truly hope that you're getting through it as best as possible, and that the incoming stimulus checks are going to reach you, and that hopefully they will make a difference for you. I know in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot of money, but hopefully it helps a little bit, and hopefully we won't be in this position for too much longer. So that's what I'll say about that. While I was at the doctor's office today, I kind of sort of finished a half object. It's close enough, I'm counting it, okay? I have a sock bag that lives in my car. It is my Fringe supply bag. You've seen it 1,000 times. I've discussed it 1,000 times. This is my Dark Watch bag, and it's a tartan, a wax canvas tartan. It is my favorite bag I own, and it has just a couple of pins on it. This is from Tolt Yarn and Wool in Carnation, Washington, commemorating their Icelandic Wool Month, which is in March, I believe, every March. Farmer's Daughter Fibres. This one is brand new. This is from, talked about it last week, Clever Clove, I believe. And it's a Highland Coo knitting a sock because everybody needs one. And this is Starlight Knitting Society, which is a shop in Portland, Oregon. My half-finished object that lives inside of here is a pair of socks. I bought the colorway because they reminded me of the Seattle Seahawks. I do not remember who makes this yarn. I do not remember the colorway of this yarn. I will look on my project pages and see if I can find it, and I will link it here. But I have a few toe, I have to just finish my toe decreases. I use a rounded toe, so it happens every other row. They're not going to take me very long. I will finish these tonight. And I should just cast on the second one. I do not have second sock syndrome typically, but I kind of started looking around, and I'm getting a lot of personal knitting done right now. So this has probably been the first time in 18 months that I haven't had 2 samples on the go. So everybody is holed up right now. Nobody is really doing the sample thing. I'm making some adjustments to the last one that I just finished. So I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that I have some personal knitting time right now. And I am doing a test for Megan of Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits. She is doing House Pride sweaters, and I volunteered to do a Slytherin sweater, and I'm waiting on the yarn. So when that gets here, I will get that done. But because I'm doing that, Harry Potter's been kind of on the brain lately, and a girlfriend of mine has gotten me into fan fiction. And I know, roll your eyes, but this is not 50 Shades of Grey fan fiction. Okay, calm down. But the fan fiction that she has got, that I've found that I've kind of enjoyed, has been about the Marauders, which is Harry's dad. So the gentleman who made the Marauders map. So Prongs, Moony, Padfoot, Wormtail, which would be James Potter, Remus Lupin, Sirius Black, Peter Pettigrew. And I've really enjoyed some of the stuff that I have found, and it's been neat because it's not commercialized, it's not the movie, it's kind of this own little world that people who write fan fiction have been able to create for themselves, which has been really cool. It's been really fun. There's some pretty neat theories in it. But anyway, yeah, so that's been kind of on the brain with the House Pride thing. Hector had his first watching of Harry Potter last year. I think he made it to Goblet of Fire before he didn't care for the 5th one, Order of the Phoenix. I think that's where it starts to get kind of dark and kind of over his age range. So he kind of tapped out on that one, and then I think me and my husband finished the series. But because it's kind of been on the brain, I have a couple pairs of socks that I've been intending to knit. So this is some leftovers of Nomadic yarn in her Remus Lupin colorway, who is the guy who turns into the werewolf. He's the teacher in the 3rd book, Prisoner of Azkaban. And my husband has a pair of these socks, and they're phenomenal. They're beautiful, and I really want a pair. I think that this is her Brit sock base, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure it's BFL. And Ashley is the dyer. Her colors are amazing. She has a whole Harry Potter range. So I really want a pair of these for myself. So I'm going to knit one of these up, I think. And then my other plan is that this is the Sirius colorway. So this is Sirius Black, and it's a black and a really, really deep blue charcoal kind of color with silver and then a wine red, and it's just gorgeous. And I've been intending to knit this up since I got it at least a year ago, if not 2 now, and I still haven't done it. So I'm going to skein this up, and I'm going to have this one. I'm going to put them both in a bag so that I have sock yarn for whenever I am ready to do that. So I know that my normal flow is to talk about what I'm wearing, but I'm not wearing anything. And then talk about finished objects, but I haven't finished anything. And then to kind of go into plans or works in progress or whatever. So we've skipped around a little bit. So let's back up. Let's talk about some whips. On my needles right now, I have the Ripple crop top, and I've talked about it before. It is being knit in Life in the Long Grass. Life in the Long Grass in the Cantaloupe colorway. Sorry, I'm trying to figure it out. I finished the body, and I have finished the front. So this is where it will go over shoulders. I am working on the back right now, and I'm supposed to knit this until like 13 inches maybe. So I have a really long way to go, but this is the color and this is what it will look like on me. I'm doing this as much for me as for you because I haven't gotten to see it, and so it'll be really cool to see it on camera and be like, oh, okay. So that is coming along nicely. My other work in progress that I have talked about recently is the Svelge sweater. It is being knit in Red Stag Fibres in the Estate Fingering base in the colorway, Cobblestone. And this is it here. I was looking at it and it doesn't have as much give as I kind of anticipated it to have. So the body is supposed to be 16 inches. Now, if you measure from here to the body with a little bit of stretch, because it is superwash, I do expect it to stretch. If you do it to this, then it is 16 inches. However, with the armhole and all the measurements, okay, let me back up. I finished this. I finished the body. I finished the neck, I finished the short rows and the shoulders, and I seamed it together, and then I put it on. My girlfriend is a little bit smaller than I am, but not a whole lot, and the armhole was directly up underneath my armhole. But it's supposed to be kind of an oversized, loose type sweater. My gauge is on. I don't know if I'm just expecting that it's going to grow more than it is, so my length measuring isn't working out quite as well, or if I'm pulling too hard in order to measure it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it like this, and I'm going to block it and find out what happens. Because I blocked my swatch, but a swatch is a relatively small piece of fabric in comparison to a sweater. So what I think I'm going to end up doing is ripping out the front and just continuing to knit and just go farther, I think is what I'm going to do, to be honest. Because it says that after you separate, you should knit for an inch and then start your V, which would mean that if your armpit is here, that you would be here and then knit an inch and start the V. But that only leaves an inch for your armhole. I don't like it. The armhole is too tight. That's what it comes down to. So I'm going to do some modifying. And then whenever I figure out what I'm going to do and I get it done, I will share that with you. But as of right now, that's just attached to a whole bunch of balls of yarn. I think I had 4 going at one time, trying to do short rows and neckline shaping. And the pattern is great in that it has you do both sides at once, even with the V-neck, but then you have a separate ball of yarn for each side. My yarn is extremely tonal, so I was having a hard time doing that without creating actual visible differences. So hence the 4 strands, because I had to alternate. I used 2 all the way at the body, and then I put 1 here and 1 here, and I introduced a 3rd skein to create continuity across the top. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit the back, because the back is going to be easier, and I don't have to worry about neck hole shaping. I'm just going to knit the back. I'm going to knit it a little bit longer. I'll come back to it. And I feel terrible because this is the same friend who recently had her baby. Her baby sweater is sitting right here. My goal was to send them all together. I kind of thought I'd be done by now, or at least by this weekend. And that's just not happening. I don't really know why. I'm working on it. I don't really know why there's no progress being made. It's really disheartening though. My next work in progress isn't so much a work in progress as just something I've got going on. You guys know all about my green sweater. I got I had mentioned last time that I recorded about this that I was unhappy with the edging, the bind off for the cuff. And so I went ahead and reknit the cuff, and I did redo that edging because the yarn was frogged. Because the yarn was frogged, it does look, it's super coily. So my edging isn't as clean as it will be once it's blocked, but I will block, that'll all block out. I'm not worried about it. So I just cut the cuff off this morning on this side, and I am going to reknit that, and then I will come down here and I'm going to cut right here, and then I will knit the section of ribbing back up. And so that should take this entire thing, I think it should end right around here, which will be great. It'll be the perfect size, and then I can get this back to Sharon and Josh either over the weekend or next week. Her yarn shop is closed right now, so neither one of them is really in a hurry, but I've made enough passing jokes about keeping that sweater, and I've sort of been half serious. So I'm kind of afraid if I don't give it back to her pretty soon, she's going to start thinking that I stole it from her. I don't want that. We have a great working relationship. I'd like to keep it that way. Yeah, I know I want to work on all the things. I want to work on some of my stripey blanket. I've got this big old box of minis I'd really like to work through. I have a Harry Potter advent calendar in there. I've got minis from my friend Julie. I've got all kinds of stuff in here that I would just really love to knock out right now. And I have sweaters on the go, and I haven't started my sweater. I've hardly worked on my husband's sweater. I pulled out my oldest standing whip. So last night I was looking, after I finished the body of that sweater and realized that I wasn't happy with how it was turning out, I put it down. And I should have just kept knitting on it. It's just mindless stockinette, but I kind of wanted something a little bit meatier. I was listening to back episodes of The Gentle Knitter. Her name is Nicole. If you don't know about her, she's very sweet. It's a very gentle podcast. And I was watching back episodes of her last night, and I kind of wanted something that wasn't brain busting, but was a little bit meatier than just stockinette. And so I pulled out my Sizzle Pop shawl. I hate to even show it to you because I'm pretty sure the first time I showed it to you was like right here, and that was last year sometime. I've done a whole 3 chart things. I don't even know. That's not even a repeat. I don't even know how it goes. I am on row 6 of the 6th repeat of the body. Yeah, so that would have been, here is where the body chart would have started. I have to do 16 of these. Yep. I hate it. I love the pattern. The pattern is beautiful. The yarn is stunning. It's very well written. I don't like brioche, apparently. That's all I can come up with, is I just must not care for brioche, because there's no reason this shouldn't be done. Or I just don't like shawl knitting, which is, that's a fact. I don't like to knit shawls, personally. But I enjoy it when I'm working on it, and then I put it down for a couple of days, and a couple of days turns into a year. It happens every time. It's really ridiculous that that's not finished. So, okay. Those are all my works in progress and my plan. And like I said, I haven't worked on my husband's. It's still like a band of ribbing I haven't cast on for mine. It's still sitting here in my bag. I haven't. So yeah. What about y'all? Are y'all getting through stuff? Are you working on it? Do you not want to knit? What are you doing? I feel like my husband's been getting home at 3:30, and I'm pretty sure that every time he comes home, he finds me sitting out on the porch leaning against the fence in the sunshine. I have a really severe vitamin D deficiency. I really like sitting out in the sun. And Houston, it gets too hot to do it most times, especially at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I like to get out there and try to soak in some of it, but I've just been really restless lately, I guess. Like, You know that saying where you're all dressed up and you have nowhere to go, you know, all dressed up, no place to go? I feel like that. Like I'm all revved up. I'm anxious to do something, but I don't have a clue what it is. There's nothing to do. I'm sure that's just my stress manifesting over the quarantine. So, during a couple days after I podcast last time, I got a really sweet package in the mail. And it's from my friend Mariah, whom I talk about all the time. All the time. Her company name is Knitted Niceties. It's her logo. And for those of you who watched last time will know that we lost our pup. He was at 12. He would have been 12 next week on the 20th. And we lost him like 3 weeks ago, probably. It's hard, you guys. I don't really, I haven't really gotten over it yet. I'm working on it. It's sucky. Anyway, so she made me this really lovely bag with black puppies on it, with boomers on it. My dog's name is Boomer, so every black lab to me is a boomer, and I had a dog when I was a kid who was a black lab named Boomer that I named my dog Boomer after. All black labs are boomers. That's just what they are. Thanks. So if your dog's name is Duke or something, his name is really Boomer, and you should change it. And she lined it with this really cute fabric. It says, "I will always strive to be the person that my dog thinks I am, and my heart is paved with paw prints. Soft ears, joyful, big smile, confidant, buddy, protector of the house," and it's got dog bones on it and stuff. It's just really cute. And it has pockets. Mariah makes a really great bag. I know I talk about her all the time. She does not have an Etsy shop. I clarified this for you guys. She does not have an Etsy shop, but she does have an Instagram. So you can text her and see what she has, or whatever. She can make you something. She is more than willing to do customs. I had a tag. There we go. Hold on. Oh, too far. There's her tag. I will put her shop down in the down bar. This is her large project bag. And for scale, this is the zippered sock. So it's deeper and more narrow. This is Dr. Seuss, obviously. It's a Dr. Seuss and Table of Elements mix. And then it is lined in this really sweet fabric. I think I'm going to do a giveaway with this. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. I think I might do a giveaway. Because we need some fun. We need some fun and some sunshine in our lives. And I think that Dr. Seuss fabric with science names on it is about as fun as it gets. So yeah, that will be a giveaway. And I will probably include this little packet of stitch markers that she sent me. These are super cute. There's just some teal with blocks with like little white hearts and just little jewels. So I think that these two things are going to be a giveaway. And I will come up with a prompt. No, you know what? We're going to do it right now. Down below this video, tell me what's getting you through. What is it? It can be a thing, it can be a person, it can be something that happened to you, it can be the idea that you just can't you don't know how to stop, you don't know how to give up. Like, that's fine. Let me hear it. So, and then this will be a giveaway. It'll have this little thing. And yeah, I will do a random number generator and I will give away that bag. A little bit more about Mariah's shop. She does do several sizes of things. So this is the same fabric. This is a pencil case that she made for my son. And it has an expandable bottom. So it's a flat bottom. And it folds down whenever you're done with it. So there's pencil case. She has this really sweet little notions pouch. It also has an expandable bottom. I was actually thinking about asking her for a couple more of these, but to see if she would just sew the bottom closed so that it doesn't expand, because then I lose little bits and pieces in the folds. So I really like that. That's just her. She has the midget notions bag. And then this is a pencil case. You can just ask for that. And then she also sent me this knitted bowl. I've never had one of these before, this little rope bowl. So this is super cool. So yeah, that was a really nice surprise, and it was wonderful to get in the mail, and it made me really happy. So thank you, Mariah. I really appreciated it. Okay. Sorry that the podcast has been a little bit weird today, guys. It's been a little bit of a weird day. It's been a little bit of a weird week, I think. But I don't really have much else to share. I know that I tend to go silent until projects are done. I find that I do that a lot. I don't really talk about my work in progress at all. I talk about my work when it's finished. And I'm trying to get better about that. Unfortunately, I don't really seem to be that person that has the ability to just sit and talk to the camera. I do, but then I listen to it and then I cut it out or I refilm it because, oh my goodness, can you hear it? Yeah. So I suppose that is about all I have to share with you today. Like I said, I hope that you are making it through. And if you are interested in the giveaway, please leave me a comment below letting me know how you're getting through and what is it that's driving you to get through. And I will pick a winner from that. See if we can share some happiness because it's getting long. But we can do this. We're gonna make it, right? All right. You guys have a great rest of your week and a lovely weekend, and I will see you next time.